As my last video showed, there are a lot of great reasons why you would want to take a vacation to Hawaii. However, let me share with you at least one reason why you should not visit the island of Oahu. And that reason is called nostalgia. Nostalgia is a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past. Typically, it's for a period or a place with happy personal associations. For example, I was overcome with acute nostalgia for the time I spent living on Oahu. If this is your primary reason for taking a vacation in Hawaii, you will be greatly disappointed. Let me share with you some examples of things that have changed dramatically over the years on the island of Oahu. To start with, we have Sacred Falls. Sacred Falls was a well-kept secret, and if you didn't live on the island, you didn't know about it. A waterfall plummeted into a large pool that was over 20 feet deep. It has areas carved into the walls where you can climb up and then dive into the water off of. And if you take your snorkeling gear up there, you could always find lots of money at the bottom of the pool. Apparently, it all was washed out of people's pockets as they were swimming. This beautiful site is now permanently closed. I did some research to find out why it was closed. Apparently, some people got killed in a rock slide. They then sued the state, and they won. So the state decided to take this treasure away from the people. Our next attraction has an odd name, the Toilet Bowl. It's located right next to Waimea Bay. The Toilet Bowl is a large hole in the rocks. There's a tunnel that connects this hole to the open ocean. Large waves would travel through the tunnel, rapidly filling this hole up. Then as the hole emptied back through the tunnel, it would swirl around like a large toilet. You could spend hours sitting inside going up and down and playing in this water. Remember my story about the Sacred Falls lawsuit? Well, the state also shut this attraction down because of this lawsuit. We can only hope in the future the state can hire better lawyers so they can open this attraction back up. Barbers Point Beach. Back when the military owned it, it was a very beautiful, safe beach. Because of the somewhat rocky coastline, seashells and agates and stuff weren't destroyed by the wave action. You can spend hours strolling along this beach looking for collectibles. So, apparently the military moved out and gave control of this beach back over to Hawaii. It appears that Hawaii has decided to turn this beach over to the homeless population. And according to many sources I read, unless you're interested in buying drugs, you're best just to stay away from this place. Well, let's talk about Waikiki Beach, the beach designed for tourism and centrally located to most of the hotels on the island. Apparently, now there's an epidemic of beach thefts, random spikes in violence and crimes, and a severely understaffed police force. So it sounds like the government decided, instead of fixing the understaffed police force, they would try to make things miserable for the criminals and have them move out. To do this, they're going to remove the pavilions along Waikiki Beach. Apparently, they never considered that in trying to make it uncomfortable for the criminals, they're also making it uncomfortable for the tourists. You are on a tropical island, and they're going to remove the shade. Hey, but at least Waikiki still has a nightlife, right? Well, it sounds like not really, not unless you have an armed guard with you. If you have fond memories of the miles and miles of greenery caused by the sugarcane and the pineapples, your return trip will look considerably different than you remembered. Much of the pineapple and sugarcane production in Hawaii is gone. They've determined the land is just too expensive to use for agricultural purposes. So now instead of seeing miles and miles of green farmland, you'll now be seeing commercial and residential real estate in those areas. The International Marketplace provides amazing architecture as well as fine shopping from places from around the world. Or at least it used to. According to this review I found on the International Marketplace nowadays, it seems the marketplace has turned kind of dumpy and is scheduled at some point to disappear. And along those lines, we need to cover Sea Life Park. Last time I was there, this was a wonderful place. It was very clean and safe and entertaining. They had terrific shows and the prices were reasonable. But this review seems to show something has changed. It's looking a little worse for the wear, and it's way overpriced for the entertainment they provide. I tried to verify this information by going directly to Sea Life Park's website. Their website, or at least the phone version of it, was so poorly put together, it took me 10 minutes to even find any information on prices. And I will have to agree with this review. Holy smokes. You're going to charge that kind of money, you should at least maintain your property. Now we have Waimea Bay, the best beach in Oahu. If you're looking forward to going to this beach and plummeting off this large rock into the ocean like you used to, it may be a bit of a problem. A large majority of the current reviews of this bay cite parking as an unmitigated disaster. Apparently, when Oahu decided to transition from agriculture to tourism as their main industry, they seem to have forgotten the fact that you need to invest in upgrading the infrastructure to handle the extra tourism. And finally, the grand finale as to why I personally want to go back to Hawaii. Buzz's original steakhouse in Pearl City. We loved this steakhouse so much that we actually moved so that we'd be within walking distance of it. So, here's the ultimate bummer. Buzz's original steakhouse in Pearl City has announced their permanent closure. This is a very large bucket of cold ice water thrown all over my nostalgia. Apparently, their main reason for closing was due to deterioration of the building, which I personally find very frustrating. If you properly maintain a building, it will not deteriorate. Oh yeah, and they also had a little bit of a problem with cockroaches, which probably ties directly back to not properly maintaining the building. So that's about it. Here's the final takeaway from all of this. There are many wonderful reasons why you would want to visit Oahu. But if you're headed to Oahu because of nostalgia, you will be deeply disappointed. Well, thanks for watching.